Ode Yusuf here with Orange Nation TV. I'm here with Coach Bussey, the head coach of the Valhalla football program. In an unusual setting, not on the field as we normally are, due to circumstances, we're going to be interviewing here, which is probably better than nothing. Coach, you guys had a solid game versus Rancho Bernardo last week. Your first playoff game, came out with the win. They were a 1-9 team, and most people had Valhalla on the top, but they had pretty close games. Was there any worry coming into the game that there was a chance that they can come on top and get the win?
I mean, that's kind of, you never want your team coming in overconfident. Every playoff team has a chance at winning that football game. I felt like if we played up to our abilities, then we should certainly come out with the win. But again, any given Friday, any team can win, so you have to actually go out there and do it, and that's the message I tried to instill to our players. And they went out there and played with the best of their abilities, and we came out on top.
And defense and offense had good games, both sides of the ball. They did their work, and we had Ben Howard up there during Orange Nation TV, and helping us figure out the plays. And for the most part, you guys played like you playing every week. Defense coming out strong, offense doing what they needed to do. Was there anywhere where you thought that the team didn't improve on or do what they needed to do?
I mean, defensively we gave up some big plays for a couple of scores, and on special teams we gave up a long punt return that set up the other score. But more so than that, I thought we were pretty solid all the way around. I mean, even with those hiccups, defensively we forced a couple of turnovers, and held them pretty much in check. Offensively, we obviously scored a bunch of points, but even more of a bright spot, I think, was on special teams. We had Nehemiah Brown in the kick return unit bring back two for touchdowns. It's, setting the tone with that first opening kickoff really set the tone for the game, and then answering one of their scores with another kickoff return in the second quarter really took away any hope that they might have had coming off of a big score.
And this Friday, you guys will be playing La Costa Canyon. They're 7-3 as you guys were in the regular season, and their first playoff game, you're playing away. Where do you think that your team are going to need to step it up the most in order to come on top in this game?
La Costa Canyon is a good program. They have been traditionally a good program. They're kind of an opposite of what we are. Here at Valhalla, we tend to score a lot of points, and at times defensively we kind of fly around and sometimes give up points. Their offense and their defense seems to be much more conservative. They don't score a ton of points. Traditionally, they're in usually the 21 to 28 point range, but they also don't give up a lot of points. They tend to hold their opponents in check pretty well. They're a good-sized team. They run the ball a lot. At times people could argue we're undersized, on the offensive line, and we throw the ball a lot. So there's kind of two opposing forces there, and something has to give. And obviously, we hope that we come out on top of that.
And of course, and your quarterback Ramsey Romano nominated for a PPR award, Silver Award this weekend. One of the best quarterbacks in San Diego by far. And your whole offensive unit, and along with your defensive unit, players like Spencer Havard defensively, and Ben Howard on the offensive side, and Nehemiah Brown on both sides of the ball, playing great ball. But Ben Howard, who got out with a collarbone injury, has that affected the team in any way of scoring more? Ramsey had to change up. I understand John Todd has been playing more as he did last week, and he obviously got points on the board. Is that something that you guys have been able to work with?
There's a saying that I believe Bill Belichick may have came up with, or at least he reiterated it in one of his books. It's a next man up philosophy. Football is a team sport. There's 22 guys out there if you count the offense and the defensive starters, generally 50-plus guys on the team. And injuries are going to happen in a sport like football, and we have to have the mentality that when one person goes down, as great as Ben Howard is, and as an integral part as he is of our team, and as much as he's contributed to our success, and of course we miss him, and our team is obviously not as good without him, but we have to expect that there's another guy that's going to step up and do the job. And John Todd had a big game last week, stepped up. We have Warren Preston stepping into Ben Howard's spot, and he's going to do the job, to the best of his ability to make sure that we keep moving forward.
And one thing on the team specifically that I've noticed have definitely progressed is the offensive line has kept Ramsey safe for most of the year, and they've done a pretty good job. And we spoke to Cole Anderson in a preview many weeks ago. He said he'd give them an A. And then on defensively, the defensive line has definitely improved throughout the year, doing a lot better than they were in the beginning, and now is a major component of this game. Do you think that because now we played league towards the end of the season, that's made a difference, or did a different mentality come into there?
I think it's two different things. I think on the offensive side, if you can get continuity on the offensive line, teams tend to gel and they really start to play well. And we've been fortunate, although we've had some minor injuries along the way and had some people step in at times. We, for the most part, have had the same group out there. And being able to do that really helps them to be able to trust each other, to understand what each other are thinking, what they're going to do, so they can play as a cohesive unit. On the defensive side, I think it's a little bit about confidence. We've got some players back that are healthy and ready to play. And ever since, I would say, if there's a turning point for the defense as a whole and for the defensive line as well, would be that Mount McGill game where we're down a bunch at halftime and the defense turned it on, and now our defensive line as well as the rest of the defense are really playing with a lot of confidence. They're flying around, they understand what their job is, and we let them kind of keep it simple and let them play football, and they've really been able to do that.
And one final question, Coach, before we get out of here. It's an away game versus La Costa Canyon, your second playoff game, Rancho Bernardo was home. And for the most part, you guys probably won't be coming back to Valhalla to play a game as far as we know right now. How big of an impact does that have on the team and their mentality as they play?
I think, generally speaking, we always want to play at home if we can. But looking at our team, there was a stretch during the season where we played 4 straight road games. We had to go to Mount Miguel, then to Helix, then to Grossmont, then to West Hills. And in that 4-game stretch, we came out 3-1. I think that prepares us, lets us know that it doesn't matter whether we're here or we're there. We know how to play the game of football, and if we have to go to your house, then hopefully we can do our job and make that our home away from home.
Yeah. So good luck, Coach. You guys have played great all season, and hopefully you come out with a win today. I'm Ode Yusuf. This is Orange Nation TV.